calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you. Because I head tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Ain't where the money at.
So a couple of days ago I put a poll out on Instagram asking you guys what kind of video you want to see, and there was a big majority of you saying you wanted to see some car photography, so that is what we're doing today. We are here with James, who's behind the camera, and this is his new Renault Twingo RS. Today we're going to be taking some photos of it. It's not a tutorial because I'm by no means a professional photographer. This is just how I take it. If you like the way I take photos, then feel free to leave a like. If not, then press the dislike twice. Also, apologies for the noise in this video. It's pretty windy right now and I didn't bring a lav. I always try and keep my subject, which is the car obviously, as far away from the background as I can, really, just to create a bit of separation and throw the background out of focus. To also help with that, you want to use a low aperture like f2.8 if that's what your lens does, or f1.8 or 1.4 depending on what lens you've got. Today I'm running a 24-70, which is like a standard zoom, on a Sony a7 III, which is my current setup. A good tip for also car photography is to try use a circular polarizer, especially on the metal paint on the car. It will try cut out those reflections and it just makes the shot look a lot nicer. At the moment we've got the car on a bit of an angle. It just creates a bit more depth and makes the shot a bit more dynamic. So to start with, I'm going to go all the way to 70mm, get fairly far back. I'm going to get a more of like a telephoto shot. I'm a big fan of throwing the background out of focus and really compressing it. I'm not a major fan of wide shots, but that's just me personally. I'm just looking at the car. I try and usually aim like the front corner as my point of focus. It looks a bit run down with all these old buildings, and so I kind of really want to accentuate those. I usually try get as low to the ground as I can, as it just makes the images a bit more dynamic and you get the foreground blur. Nowadays everyone's shooting for Instagram and social media. I shoot 90% of my stuff portrait. You can shoot landscape, can be nice for like thumbnails or banners or posters and stuff, but I tend to shoot portrait most of the time. When it comes to choosing whether you want to take something portrait or landscape, it is personal preference, but what I try and do when I'm taking photos of any kind is looking at the subject and seeing what kind of orientation it is. So if I'm shooting the front or the back of the car, it's mainly going up in the frame, so I'll usually shoot portrait. But if I'm shooting the side of the car, because it's filling up a wide part of the frame, I'll usually shoot landscape. So let's do that. This car, James's Renault, he only just got it recently, so he hasn't really had a chance to do any mods to it yet. But this car is the sport version, so it's got some little badges here and there and some nice features. So you really want to try take advantage of those details, and it's a nice chance to take some nice close-up and macro shots. If you're shooting straight on like this, you're going to get the reflections in the car. So usually I would go just to the side. As you can see now, I'm out of the reflection. So we're just going to move the car just over here, because there's this nice tall building here which I think would look really nice for a photo. So we're just going to get it put on side on and it'll just look good like that. Okay. But when it comes to choosing settings and exposure, I try and underexpose a little bit, especially if there's a bright sky or something, because I don't want any part of my image to be blown out, which I can't recover. And for me, I always find shadows are easier to bring back than highlights. So I'm quite happy with the exterior shots I've got of the car. Now we're going to move inside. It's quite good if you're trying to sell a car, you can show off the inside, show how clean it is, stuff like that. So James here has taken the liberty of not cleaning his car, So we're just going to get rid of all this rubbish in here, all the bones and the other things, just to make it look clean and make it a bit better. So for these interior shots, it's actually a bit darker inside the car. So I'm going to swap my lens to one with a bigger aperture. That means that the hole inside the lens is able to go much larger, and it means you get more depth of field, so the background is blurrier, and obviously more light is coming into the lens. This is a brilliant lens. It is the Canon 50mm 1.8. It's really inexpensive for a lens. It's about 100 quid. It's one of the cheapest lenses you can get, and it will really help you to understand depth of field, aperture, and it will really up your game. I've been using this lens for about 1.5 years now, basically since I started photography, and it's great. Right, so the focus has decided to stop working. That looks nice. Don't be afraid to shoot stuff, and even if it's bad. You just want to get out there shooting more and just try some new stuff. So that's pretty much what I would do on a car shoot. I really hope you got something out of this video and learned something new. Like I said, I'm not a professional photographer, and I don't want this to be like a tutorial where I'm telling you what's the best thing to do. If you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like and do subscribe if you want to see more like this. If you've got any other photography suggestions or stuff that you want to see, also drop them down in the comments. But that's it from me. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.